vlog's first ever booktube video. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Carissa Lynn. This is going to be my first ever booktube video. If you came from my Get Ready With Me on my TikTok, that means that you must have heard that I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I've always been intrigued by people sharing their life, their daily vlogs, their mundane daily tasks on YouTube and the form of long form media since I've been in middle school, and I have always wanted to do it. I've always wanted to share my life with others, but I've always been hindered by what are other people gonna think? Does anyone really care about what I have to say? And the answer to both of those, well, the answer to the last question could possibly be no, no one cares. But I find comfort in the fact that if I care about what other people are doing on the internet, that means at least one person has to care about what I'm doing on the internet. I'm a Leo, so I love to yap, and I love for people to listen to me when I talk. So if you're watching this video, I consider you a captive audience. I'm gonna start today's video with our drink of the day. I want to do that in every video. Have a fun little drink, whether it's an energy drink. I love energy drinks. I've recently been into the Bloom energy drinks, or a coffee or a tea or a water or a soda, or anything that my body needs that day. That's gonna be our drink of the day. So here is our drink of the day. It's about right here. I spent some time putting everything up, making my corner nice and cute. She'll be chilling over here with us. I wanted to do a bookshelf tour, except I have two giant stacks of books that don't fit on my bookshelf. Also, in the move, I kind of broke my bookshelf, so it doesn't look the prettiest. It's a dark bookshelf, and I want to change it to a white one to match this aesthetic a little bit more. There's just a lot of factors that went into that I said, not doing it. So instead, we're gonna do something that has less to do with the bookshelf and more to do with the actual books on the bookshelf. And it's gonna kill a few birds with one stone. I have books that I forgot that I had them. And I'm sure there are books in there that I still don't know that I have. I've been in a massive reading slump for the past 2 years. Not consecutively, and it's because I forget about my books. And that is another reason I'm making this YouTube channel, to give me accountability for my reading habits, is to motivate me to read more often, because I do enjoy reading, I just forget. We're gonna get started on my physical TBR. There's gonna be books on here that you've probably never heard of because I've had them since I was 12 and I still haven't read them. There's probably gonna be books on here that you have heard of that you're like, why haven't you read that yet? Hey, I don't know. Don't ask me. So be nice. Where to start? I have two gigantic piles of books right here that don't fit onto my shelf because I used to have a smaller shelf and it got rained on sitting in a garage while we were moving. So I think because I don't want to do those right now, I'm gonna start with them. Let's do it. We're gonna start with my Gregory Maguire books, and when I say I mean mine and my mom's, because 2 of them are hers. But I read Wicked last year. I read Wicked last year after the first movie came out. Hey! Nothing like the musical, which I knew that, but like, either way, I put all 4 books in the Oz universe, the Wicked Years series, before I'd even read Wicked, and I think on Goodreads I gave Wicked like 3 stars, 3.5. So not terrible, just definitely not what I expected. Son of a Witch, A Lion Among Men, and Out of Oz. Look at how thick she is. The next 2 are books that I stole from my mom because I love her library, and this is gonna sound really bad, but I can't wait till she dies so I can have her books. Love you, Mom. Don't die yet. We have The Next Queen of Heaven. I don't know anything about this book, but she said it was very, very good, so of course I had to take it with me. And then Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister. I am very, very intrigued by fairy tale retellings, especially from the lens of the villain. Okay, don't hate me. My reading hiatus went from middle school till college. Till college! Like, I read a lot in elementary school, and I read a little bit in middle school, but I wasn't keeping up with the times, I guess. And that is actually when I purchased these. Hey, never read them. This is another one of my mother's books. It's called Styx, like the river Styx. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. It's my mother's. She said it was good, so I was like, yoink. These two are used books that I got at a used bookstore in Denton. This one is Flowers for Algernon. And then I also got Sabbath. It is about an 11th century warrior named Hexen Sabbath. And he is about to die, and he gets plucked from where he is by this thing and gets put into modern day Manhattan. And now he's trying to stop Armageddon. Thank you. On the literary fiction side, Handmaid's Tale. I need to read it. I need to read it. However, a lot of people have said that this is the best one and then it gets not so great. So I'm kind of scared to read it too. I got about halfway through this. I got farther than I thought. Anne Rice, The Mummy. I love the way she writes. I don't know why I didn't finish this. This is a book that I got around Valentine's Day a couple years ago. It's called There Once Lived a Girl Who Seduced Her Sister's Husband and He Hanged Himself. It's a collection of short stories. I got this recently. I've heard a lot of really good things about it. That's it. This is The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith. Oh, well, that makes more sense. He is a British author, and for some reason, me and British authors just don't mesh. Maybe I just need to give it another try, because I got a pretty good chunk in. Okay, got a stack here. These are all books that I got at a library in my college town. They were having a sale and all of these were like $1 to $3. I wasn't really reading the synopses of these. I was just grabbing and going. This is Play Me Something, Angus. I majored in music. I'm a music teacher. So this seemed very, very similar to The Pianist, about that Jewish pianist, which I actually wrote a paper on in college. So you think I would know his name, but I forget. Along the same lines, this is called The Music School. It's The Knocker on Death's Door. Again, don't know anything about these books. I just thought they looked cool, so I grabbed them. The Vast Memory of Love, Possession, a Romance. This is a book that my boyfriend's mom gave me. This is a book my mom got me for Christmas. The only reason I haven't read it yet is because I don't like these kinds of covers where it doesn't reach the whole way. It's short. That's the only reason I haven't read it yet. I have a lot to explain about the next two books. You probably can't see it right now, but I have a Phantom of the Opera mask hanging up on my wall. I love musical theater, and it all started with Phantom of the Opera. That is my ride or fucking die. I love Phantom of the Opera. Don't judge her. She's been through a lot. Phantom by Susan Kay. I have been trying to read this book since 6th grade. I'm 23. This book has been through a lot. As you can see, there's tape on the spine from where it literally split, and I taped it back together. Same thing here. I have read this, like, probably half of this book over the course of 12 years. Let me read this to you. And this little note right here gets me every time. My mind has touched the farthest horizons of mortal imagination and reaches ever outward to embrace infinity. There is no knowledge beyond my comprehension, no art or skill upon this entire planet that lies beyond the mastery of my hand. I'm gonna cry. But as long as I live, no woman will ever look on me in love. Along those same lines, I have this book. Hey, you can't tell what it is because I went through a phase of throwing away dust covers because I didn't think they were important. It's called Roseblood. I know it has something to do with Phantom of the Opera, but I don't know what. I remember reading the synopsis, but I don't remember what it said. Next I have Finn and Lady. This is a general fiction about a boy and his big sister right after, I think, his parents die. And she's kind of taking him on and raising him. I started it and read like 10 pages. I'm really bad about that. I'm really bad about starting a book and then not finishing it. We have P.S. I Hate You. I got this from Book of the Month. This is about a couple who goes on a road trip and then they fall in love. They fall in love. They fall in love. I have this one, the Happy Ever After playlist. My boyfriend got this for me for Christmas, I believe, last year. I never read it because I had other things to read first and then got into another big flat reading slump. Oh, I didn't even realize this was Abby Jimenez. I was just thinking that I need some Abby Jimenez books because I need to get into romance. Hello. Okay, maybe this is going up on the... priority. Maybe this is going up in priority. This is the second Bridgerton book, The Viscount and I. No, The Viscount Who Loved Me. Don't get me wrong. I love me some Bridgerton. And I love me some Jonathan Bailey. However, I couldn't really get through this. I got through almost half of it. Maybe I just need to give it another go because I watched all of Bridgerton. When I was reading this, I don't think Bridgerton had come out yet, or I hadn't even watched it yet, so I didn't know who was in it. And I think if I read this again with Jonathan Bailey in mind, we'll be a lot more successful. Next we have The Honey Witch. It kind of matches my vibe here, huh? Yeah, a little bit. I don't know anything about it. I purely based the book off its cover. But let's be fucking real. We do that. We do that. We all have at least 10 books in our library, whether we've read them or not, that we picked up based on vibes. Don't lie to me. The randomness is over because we are now done with those two giant piles. This light is giving me a headache. Now that the randomness is over, we can start going by genre, which is even more exciting. We are nearing the end, folks. Stay with me. We're gonna move into the horror, thriller, mystery genre. Basically, I call it the spooky genre, because they all kind of bleed together for me. Unless you are literally going through with the character trying to figure out a murder, then it's all just horror, thriller, mystery to me. That is specifically mystery, but everything else can be anything. My mom is an avid Stephen King fan, and therefore so am I, but you wouldn't think it because I haven't read a lot of his books. I have read some of them, and the ones that I've read I've loved, except for, let's actually start here. This is the book I'm currently reading, so I'm going to count it as part of my physical TBR. Stephen. I get that this is not really an action-based book. I understand that because they're literally doing the same thing the entire time. They're walking. They start walking on page like 5, and I don't know when they stop walking yet because I'm not done yet. But let me find out where I am right now. Okay. I'm about here. This is how much I have left. For this to be a character-driven novel, we don't get a lot of insight into the characters until they're about to die. A lot of people who have read it either love it and this is the book they recommend to new Stephen King readers, or they hate it, 1 or 2 stars. I think, unfortunately, I'm veering on the side of the latter. I have a few Stephen King books, so we're just gonna kind of rapid fire. The Shining. Again, I used to have a very bad habit of starting books and not finishing them. Getting a good chunk of the way through them too. And then I just get bored. It. Hey. This scares me. Could have been a 2-parter, Steve. This is one of my mother's copies. This is Bag of Bones. I know this is 3 books, but it really only counts as 2 because I have a duplicate. I have The Shining, but in this cover. I like this cover a lot better. And then we have just kind of his classics, Carrie and Cujo. Back to what I was saying about British authors. The reason I don't think I enjoy them as much as American authors, as much as non-British authors, I should say, is because of Ruth Ware. She's very popular to my knowledge. I started reading The Lying Game, couldn't get into it. Probably need to give these another try. This is another Book of the Month book. It's called Dearest. It's kind of a psychological thriller. about this brand new mother, and her husband is in the military overseas, and then her estranged mother comes to visit and help take care of the baby, and then weird fucking things start happening. I don't know why I stopped. Really bad habit, because it pisses me off. I got this as like an extra book that they try to sell to you at the counter for a discounted price when you've gotten your hundreds of dollars worth of other books, and they're like, what's one more? And the only reason I haven't touched it, can you guess? Look at it. That's why. I hate these covers. Couldn't tell you why. Hate is a strong word, but I hate them. Next we have Hidden Figures. I loved this movie so much when it came out. I begged my stepdad to get me the book. Guess what? Didn't read it. Got bored. Hey, I was in middle school. Of course I got bored. Of course. Red Rising. Cinder. I started this in middle school and I really did love it, and I actually started rereading it not too long ago, but again, got distracted, got bored, started something else. And I actually had the old cover with the cyborg leg, but I love these covers. I went to buy a new copy because mine was so damaged and they didn't have the original covers. They only had these, but I'm also not mad about it. This is the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. I used to work as a server at a sushi restaurant, and this table that I served, they brought their Kindles to dinner and just sat there reading. And then every once in a while, they would stop and talk about what they've been reading. So I finally worked up the courage to ask them. My upstairs neighbors, like, move furniture every single day. Like, anyways, I finally worked up the courage to ask that couple what they were reading and what their recommendations were, and I had a lovely conversation with them. They recommended N.K. Jemisin. My phone died, and I got through an entire shelf of books before I realized. Red Rising. Did I do this one already? Or do I just not remember because it's been forever? I did do that already. I went the opposite. Did I do this one? Did I talk about how I'm a nerd and I've been watching Doctor Who since I was 10? And I got this in high school, then just never read it? Part of the reason for this YouTube channel is so that I have motivation to pick up my freaking books. I have them. I just need to pick them up and read them. I'm not a bookworm. I'm a book dragon. Have you heard that? If you haven't heard it, look it up. It might not be as popular as I think it is. Did I just sound like an idiot? Who cares? We're gonna try and speed through the rest of these. I have Variation by Rebecca Yarros. I read Fourth Wing and half of Iron Flame and Soft DNF'd. And part of my review for Fourth Wing was that it felt like a romance writer wrote a romance novel with dragons in it. Fair. I didn't even know that she was a romance writer yet. And then I saw this and I was like, what the helly? It's Becca. So I want to give it a try. She's a good writer and I liked Fourth Wing. It just wasn't what I expected. I'm not a huge romance reader, or I haven't been in the past. So I'm thinking if anything can get me into romance, it's gonna be these. Elsie Silver and a cowboy romance. We have Aphrodite. It is a murder mystery. This is another one of the books that I got from the library. We have 2 Agatha Christie, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you why I have these, because in Doctor Who, I know, they go back in time and say Agatha Christie. That's the only reason I have these. Room. Saw the movie, liked it. Got the book in high school, haven't read it. Another book that I purchased in high school, it's called Mayfly. It's a psychological thriller. Someone akined it to American Psycho. At the time of purchasing this, I had never seen American Psycho, but I knew it was something that people were supposed to like, so I got it. Are you kidding? You know when I said that this was akin to American Psycho? It says an apocalyptic Anaheim Psycho. Whatever. I got this for Christmas from my mom a couple years ago. It's a thriller. Haven't read it yet. I have a small stack of classics. Little Women, Wuthering Heights, 1984. Started it, didn't finish it. The Bell Jar. I'm saving this for when I am severely disassociated. This is kind of a lit fiction book from Book of the Month. I think I got this along with P.S. I Hate You, and that's when I kind of stopped because I got into a massive reading slump, so that explains that. I Was Anastasia. Dear Family, again, got this at the library in my college town after the crash. What Alice Forgot, believe it or not, this is not a retelling of Alice in Wonderland, as I thought. Starter Villain, I only picked this up because it said there were talking animals in it. I do still intend to read it. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, I really want to read this soon. I saw this in Barnes & Noble and said Tom Hanks. What are you doing here? And it honestly sounds pretty good. And I also flipped through it and there's some neat illustrations, comic strips, colorized comic strips. I saw this and I was like, I have to. I'm so intrigued. The Wedding People, another book of the month book. I saw my favorite YouTuber. She's a lifestyle YouTuber. She's done a few book videos recently. I saw her read this. Her name is Hannah Elise. Shout out, love you girl. She read this and she loved it and I'm like, okay, whatever you say. I like the cover. I also hear that she's supposed to be really good. Depression, that's all I have to say. I started this in college and I got a decent chunk through it, like not a huge chunk, but a decent way. The text is very small and it's translated from Chinese, I believe, from Mandarin, maybe Japanese. Yeah. It's translated from Japanese, and that's difficult for me, or it was at the time. But it's cute. It's from the perspective of a cat. Chris and Hannah. Hey, haven't read it, but guess what else? Chris and Hannah. I'm not a huge fan of the miscommunication trope. Now, did I soft DNF this and still trek through snow and frozen roads to get the new release when it came out? Yeah, sure did. Because I'm gonna give this another try and I'm gonna bear through the awful communication. This was me trying fantasy before I started reading young adult fantasy. That was much easier. Alice, Red Queen, and Looking Glass are books that my mom got me for Christmas last year. She was so cute. I told her I wanted a blind date with a book and she had never heard of them. So she got me a bottle of wine, a wine glass, and these books and said, here, you can have a date with a book. And I almost cried because that is adorable. And that is the best misinterpretation of a saying that I think I have ever witnessed. Mistborn, Brandon Sanderson. I want to start the Sanderson multiverse. If I start it, I have to read it consecutively. And I don't think I'm in the mindset for Lord of the Rings right now. I like almost can't touch this book because of the pages. Do you see how nasty that looks? Ugh. This is the book that I purchased that had these pages and it seemed like a really, really, really cool, neat premise. This says, it's a quote from Booklist, a masterful tale blending Jewish mysticism, fairy tales, and history. Hey, sign me up. I'm sad. However, when I have to touch this every time I pick it up, I'm gonna vomit. Also picked this one up and put it down because of these pages. I'm gonna have to like download this on Kindle or listen to it on Audible and just never touch this. I don't get it, but that's just my personal opinion, I guess. Whatever. I need to read it. I need to read it. Yes, all of them. Once I get done with Throne of Glass, and by once I get done, I mean once I read Kingdom of Ash, I have it downloaded on Audible because I can't find my copy of the book somewhere in one of my boxes from moving. I will start on this. And then, of course, I don't have it with me. Maybe I'll put it right here. Am I a booktuber? Maybe? Kingdom of Ash. Thank you so much for watching my first ever booktube video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like. Please subscribe. There's gonna be more stuff like this. The more people that like and subscribe, the more on it I'm gonna be, the more consistent I'm gonna be, the more accountability I'll have to keep doing this. I like doing this. It's not that I don't have intrinsic motivation. I just know myself and I need external motivation as well. Comment what your favorite book was. Comment what book out of all of these I should start with next. Please go to my TikTok. It's Carissa Lynn Reads. My name is Carissa Lynn. I will see you next time. I love you. You are worthy. You are smart. you are kind, you are beautiful. Bye.